Greetings and welcome to online session on investigation of personal and family carbon footprint. This is a project-based learning activity as per the SPPU syllabus of SC Mechanical 2019 course. The content I'm going to discuss in this particular session, as this is a guideline session, so the content I'm going to discuss, that is the exam scheme of this activity, then aim and objectives, and activities to be carried out as a PBL activity, and a preamble or introduction part or the motivation part of this activity, the major emissions and their impacts, best practices to reduce the carbon emissions, the discussion on personal and family carbon footprint worksheets, and finally discussion on PBL report contents. As per the examination scheme of SPPU, the teaching scheme, there is 4 hours allotted per week as under the practical head. It's a 2-credit activity, and the total mark allotted for this activity, that is 50 marks. The aim and objectives of the PBL activity, that is, in this particular activity, the student is supposed to investigate the carbon footprint of his own or her own and their family. Objectives are the calculate your and your family carbon footprint, graph the results, and determine how you can personally make a positive impact on climate change. The activity is framed to carry out these objectives. The first activity, that is a calculation of own carbon footprint using a given carbon footprint worksheet. Then possible reduction of carbon footprint by changing the lifestyle. Then accordingly revise the calculation of carbon footprint after changing the lifestyle. Then activity number 4, then graphical representation of before and after changes of carbon footprint, that is for activity 1 and 3. Then activity 5 is a calculation of family carbon footprint using given carbon footprint worksheet. The second worksheet is also provided, and this activity is carried out for month-wise for the financial year 2021, and show the graphical representation of the same. Then how to reduce your family's carbon footprint, describe some of the best practices for the same. And activity 7, the comparison of carbon footprint values using a graphical representation after adopting the best practices. This is predictive results. So these are the activities students supposed to carry out to complete the objectives. As far as the carbon footprint is concerned, the carbon footprint is a relative measurement of an amount of CO2 release on the environment during a life cycle of a product or activity. Suppose this is a food, and there are various sources which emits the CO2s, like fuel or any activity or processes, fuels, then some personal activities, the gas, electricity, transport, recycling, waste, offsets. So these are the activities which generally emits the carbon dioxide. So normally it's calculated from the analysis of direct and indirect emissions of resources consumed on a certain processes. So sometimes we don't understand how it is linked to the CO2 emission. Then this tool could help in discussion of different operating conditions scenarios, such as the raw material diversity, process integration degree, utilities type, and amongst the others. Carbon footprints are usually reported in tons of emissions, that is CO2 equivalent per year. The average carbon footprint for a person in the United States is 16 tons, one of the highest rate in the world. The average rate is around 4 tons. Lowering the individual carbon footprint from 16 tons to the 2 tons doesn't happen overnight. By making some small changes to our actions, like eating less meat, taking less connecting flights, and line drying our clothes, we can start making a big difference. So this is a motivation of this study. You see the world scenario of the global greenhouse gas emission of various gases. So carbon dioxide takes some major contributions. Around 76% contribution is of the emission is from carbon dioxide, followed by methane, and nitrous oxide is 6%, and other gases is 2%. So the CO2 emissions, uh, so carbon emission is continuously increases year by year. So in the year around 1950 or 1940, it's only around 1,000 metric uh, tons of carbon. But after that, due to industrial growth or the changing lifestyle of the people, the carbon emission percentage or the emission increases exponentially. And in 2014, it is increased almost 10 times, that is 10,000. So this is an alarming situation. So there are various causes or impacts of this carbon footprint. So basically the climate change impact cascade from mountain peaks to ocean depth. Then the glacier and snow melt threatens water supply for billions. Droughts and floods produce the most impact, and these are the impacts are because of the increasing emission of pollution. Sea level rise is accelerating due to the polar ice melt. The flood condition you can realize. So all these impacts are because of the carbon footprint. You can realize that from 2016 to 20 is set to be the warmest 5-year period on the record. So there the temperature rise is the highest. Lockdown related fall in emission will not reduce CO2 concentration substantially, because that means only the automobile pollution is not responsible for this emission, because during lockdown the most of the traveling uh, uh, is stopped, but it doesn't substantially reduces the emission content, because that means some home front also there are the responsible for these emissions. The global fossil CO2 emissions rose 62% from 1990 to 2019, and the consumption patterns must change to support climate action. So these are some impact you can realize from this increase of carbon percentage. So if you see the increasing temperature since 1880, this is a red line, that is a temperature rise. And there is a temperature rise of almost 1 degree Celsius in 11 years, last 11 years. And consequently, the solar irradiation received by the Earth's surface decreases. So these are the harmful effects because of the pollution or greenhouse gases. The global greenhouse gas emission control requirement is there. So today we need to reduce the emission by 7.6% every year from 2020, from 2020 to 2030, limit the global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. So if we do that, then we can control the emission up to acceptable limit. The technologies and policy knowledge already exist to cut emissions, but transformations must begin now. And G20 nations account for 78% of all emissions. So this is the situation at 2030 if we follow certain norms. So carbon footprint is one of the activity that is at the ground level. All people, all living human beings supposed to adopt. So how to reduce this carbon emissions? Here are few suggestions that every individual can take to reduce the carbon emissions related to transportations, then food, energy usage, water usage, and waste management. So every individual can contribute in this particular carbon control of carbon emission process. As far as transportation is concerned, So try one of the following ways to get to work or school, that is cycling, walking, carpooling, public transport. Then try to avoid short car journeys because fuel consumptions and CO2 emissions are disproportionately higher when the engine is cold. And don't speed, that speeding uses more petrol and emits more CO2s. Travel by train when you can, if it is possible. Explore alternative to flyings because the aeroplane emission is maximum amongst all traveling. Then support programs that strengthen the public transport systems. So this way, in the transportation, we can save the carbon emission, or we can control the carbon emission. As far as the food is concerned, reduce intake of animal products in developed countries, because most of the developed countries, they used to eat meat. And so for the meat production, the producing of cows and buffaloes, it requires a lot of land. And for that land, there is a lot of deforestation is taking place, which reduces the oxygen percentage, and consequently, it increases the carbon percentage. So this is an indirect way of how this habit also contribute in carbon emissions. Eat local and seasonal produce as far as possible. Try not to waste your food, because wasting of food, and in that case, if that food is recycling, and if burning of that food, it causes the emission of the gases. So recycle organic waste in there itself. So a lot of societies are having this recycling processes. So these are some activities related with the uh, human beings' habit. So changing some habit also helping to control the carbon emission. Energy usage is another important segment where if we save the energy, especially the high grade energies like electricity, indirectly we can save the carbon emission as well. So most probably turn down the heat, that is reducing the temperature by just 1 degree Celsius, can cut 5 to 10% of your family's energy bill and avoid up to 300 kg of CO2 emissions per household per year. So this is a magic figure. You can see, even if you maintain, suppose for during the summer season, instead of keeping the air conditioner at 23 degrees Celsius, if you maintain it 25 degrees Celsius. So even if you shift the control temperature from 23 to 24 degrees Celsius, it saves almost, it avoids up to 300 kg of CO2. Then turn down the cold, that is air conditioners are real energy wasters. Fan might be an alternative, otherwise use air conditioner sparingly and look for the most energy efficient model. So whenever it is affordable, you can use the ventilation, that is cross ventil natural ventilation, instead of using a air conditioner. Program your thermostat so that at night or while you are out of the house, you minimize your heating or cooling usage. So use some air conditioners which are having this technique, that is the automatically closing of the air conditioners when it is not required. Use energy saving light bulbs like CFL. Then defrost old fridges and freezers regularly, because defrosting will reduce the compressor run time. So most of the new refrigerators, they have already automatic defrost system, but old refrigerators, we have to do it manually. So unplug your mobile telephone charger when you are not using it, especially if even if you plug in, even the switch is off, still some electricity is waste from that. So avoid the plugging of the chargers when they are not in use. These are some practices, if you follow, it helps a lot to minimize the carbon footprint. Water usage is also one of the important crises after this pollution crisis, because hardly 3% water is available on Earth's surface, that is drinkable water, drinking water. So water conservation is also an important factor. but also it leads to contributing uh, these things, carbon emission as well. So unnecessary boiling of water, that it uh, consume more amount of fuel. So boil less water. Cover your pots while cooking, because uncovered pots generally emit uh, require more time to boil. Avoid drinking bottled waters, because bottled water generally some energy is required for processing this filling of the bottles or like that. So generally avoid this, so that whatever the energy is required for processing, that will be minimized. And take a shower instead of bath. So generally shower require less water. Turn off the tap even some leakages are there. So rectify the leakages regularly, especially in the flush. Use the washing machine and dishwasher only when they are full. Don't utilize frequently and partially. Use tumbler dryer only when absolutely necessary. Drying clothes naturally is by far the best way to do it. Your clothes will last longer, and energy provided is free and non-polluting as well. So these are some practices which can save the energy as well as save the water as well. Because saving water is also a saving energy, because in sometimes the water needs to be pumped at some elevations, especially in apartment systems. So there, if your leakages are there, unnecessary, there is a wastage of water. So the more water is required to pump. So obviously it affects on the pumping power. Waste management also plays a important role in carbon emissions. So make a policy of reduce, reuse, and recycle. So recycle as much as possible. uh, Lobby for appropriate recycling options in your community, so that the proper decomposition is taking place of this thing. Reuse your shopping bags, because generally the plastics are not decomposable. So reuse that. Then choose products that come with little packaging also. So the packaging is, most of the packagings are the plastic packagings. So again, it increases the plastic waste, and consequently it increases the pollution as well. Buy intelligently, then stop household burning of rubbish. So most of the time we eliminate our house with some decorative lighting. So avoid that. So these are some vestiges. If we prevent, we can reduce this carbon footprint, or we can reduce the carbon emissions. So these are the 5 major areas. If you look upon and if you follow the practices, then definitely it will be helpful for the carbon emissions. So the activities that emit the most CO2 per year based on the US culture or US average. So as per the US statistics, the maximum the pollution is due in the transportation, because uh, most of the travelers, they travel alone with the car. So almost 10,000, more than 10,000 pound carbon emission is there. Then secondly, eating meat, because there is a large quantities or large communities eat meat. So their contribution around 6,000 pounds. Then flying in aeroplanes around 2,000, more than 2,000. Then using the refrigerator, because usage of refrigerator is very high in US culture. So around 2,000 carbon emission per year. Then running the air conditioners around 2,000. Then even the turning the lights on. So lighting, so it consumes, it emits almost 1,500 pounds. Then having a beer, because the energy required for processing the beer is also considerable, around 400 pounds per year it emits. Then using a dishwasher, around 400 pounds is emitted per year. Then running a dryer, around 200. Then drinking coffee is around 50 pounds, and reading the newspaper also around 2.5 pounds. So these are the 11 activities or 11 processes that, for example, according to the descending order of the carbon emissions. So that's why the US is among the topmost country where the carbon emission per capita is almost 16 tons. So these are some activities which are responsible for carbon emissions. And to reduce the carbon footprint in your house, so if you follow these activities, if you use tag also, so switch off the lights if they are not essential, and take the staircases as far as possible, especially for second floor. You can take the staircase for go up and go down. I think staircases are not required. AC on, shut the windows. If the AC is on, don't keep the windows on because it's of no use. Otherwise, the AC will continuously run. It requires more energy. And take shorter showers. Shorter showers will reduce the consumption of water. Consequently, it reduces the energy consumption as well. Then power down laptops when it is not in use. Unplug electronics when they are not in use. Keep the room temperature moderate, not too cold, not too hot. It's just affordable temperature you can keep keep as far as possible, as high as possible. Do fuel loads of laundries, full loads of laundry. Laundry should, because the half load it uh, uh, work with a low efficiency. So full load it work with the high efficiency. Use fewer or share appliances. Switch to LED bulbs or CFL bulbs for minimizing the energy consumption. So these are some activities you can follow for reducing the carbon footprint in your house. Now we will see how to calculate the personal carbon footprint. There are some questionnaires, and for every questions, there are some options. And in front of options, you have the carbon emissions in kg per year per person. So whichever is applicable, you can click there and count all this. So for example, how do you get to the college? So there are four options. So generally for car and bus, so car, if it is full car, then the consumption is, we can divide that consumption amongst the members. Then walk, that is, so directly you can choose this figure. So whatever the options you pick, corresponding figure is your consumptions. So what are your eating habits? What are your habits of turning off the lights when you leave the room? Whether you are unplug the appliances when not in use? How do you dry the clothes? Do you do you turn off the water when brushing your teeth? Small activities are there. Do you turn off the TV when you are not watching it? Do you turn off your video game system when you are not using it? So depending upon your options, the corresponding marks you can calculate, and accordingly you can calculate your total personal carbon footprint per year. So do you recycle this? If the recycling is there, these things are reduced from your total. So actually the magazine minus signs are there. So if, whatever may be the applicable, most of the individuals are not contributing in this. But if you're really contributing, it is appreciable. So these are the minus signs. So in the calculator, which is provided, it is attached to this particular video. So there, this minus sign is mentioned. So check which practices you are following, and accordingly you can correct yourself and see the possibility of the saving. So this is a graphical representation you're supposed to develop. So on the y-axis, you have a kg of carbon dioxide per year that is obtained from this particular sheet. And these are the activity wise. So 10 activities are there. So 10 activities. So accordingly, you can per activity, what is the carbon emission, and the total is there. So blue color columns, these are the activities, that is original footprint. And after correcting your habits or how much we can save, that you can easily you can prepare the another sheet. So this is before or after. And with the help of this sheet, you can show the graphical representation, how much you can save per year by using the same sheet. So this is a sample personal carbon footprint, that is before any corrections, or as per the current habits, almost 960 kg of carbon dioxide emission is there because of the habit of a person. And after revision of the activity, or after changing the lifestyle, that amount is reduced to 450. So almost 50% we can reduce. So accordingly, one can think about it and do the corrections, and how much you can correct, and that you can realize. And but it is essential keep practicing the good habits. That is also important. So you can compare your contribution with the other countries' per capita contributions. So this is a CO2 consumption per capita in tons. So you can represent where you stand. So as far as the India is concerned, around 1.7 ton average consumption is there. So this viewers also you can compare the now at present mine is 0.96 ton. So it is, but still we can reduce this. So the almost zero consumption is Somalia country, and maximum consumption is United States. So all the most of the developed countries, their energy usage is tremendous or huge. So consequently, the CO2 emissions are also high. So where do you stand? You can show with the help of this graph as well. So this graph you're supposed to produce. So only by putting the value of you can generate this particular graph. And the second part is household carbon footprint, because many of our daily activities cause emissions of greenhouse gases. For example, we produce greenhouse gas emissions from burning gasoline, when we drive, burning oil or gas for home heating, or using electricity generated from coal, natural gas, and oil. Greenhouse gas emissions vary among individuals depending on the person's location, habits, and personal choices. For example, the quantity of greenhouse gas emissions from your home electricity use depends on the type of fuel your power plant uses to generate the electricity and the amount you use. And the quantity of greenhouse gas emitted from your furnace and boiler depends on efficiency of these atoms, the size and insulation of your house, and the amount and type of fuels used. So your good instruments and the good system with good efficiency also reduces the carbon footprint. Quality of emissions from your car or truck depends on how much you drive, what your vehicle's fuel efficiency is, and how you drive. Examples given that amount of time spent idling in traffic, it produces the huge amount of carbon dioxide. So during the idling condition, when you are at the signal, make sure that you don't keep the car, don't keep the engine on. If you switch off the engine, definitely it will contribute in the reduction of carbon emissions. In addition, the more recycling you do will reduce the amount of waste sent to landfills, as well as the greenhouse gas emissions that results from processing of raw materials. So for the waste, so processing of raw material also produces some harmful gases. So if the waste is less, definitely it will help to reduce control the carbon emissions. So this is a family carbon footprint worksheet. So this is month-wise, because personal carbon footprint is year-wise. This is month-wise. So month, you have to select then how many members in your families, then what is your name of the town, then the activities, so quantities, the CO2 emissions. So these are the quantity, these are the Uh, these are the CO2 emissions per unit quantities. You can put your quantities in liters, suppose for petrol for particular month. So these are the figures you're supposed to fill here for a particular month. How much consumption is there? If you are using car, if it is petrol, then use the consumption depending upon your distance travel and other things. If it is diesel car, use that. If you have a two-wheeler or petrol car, use the total liters it requires for a month. And if your car is of LPG, then use put that. If you are traveling by taxis, then put here the number of kilometers you are traveling. If you are traveling by local bus, auto rickshaw, and local train. So you can see corresponding carbon emission is less if you are traveling by a bus, auto rickshaw, or local train as compared to individual traveling through your own car or own bikes. So these figures are considerable. So if you put in the month's figures here, that will be the huge amount. So we have seen that transportation plays a major role. So these are the activities that are important. So domestic activities, the LPG is used for the cooking. So number of cylinders, there's generally the cylinder, the gas present in the cylinder is around 14 kg, 14 to 15 kg. So how many number of cylinders your family using per month? If there is a CNG connections, that if water usage also, depending upon the usage of water for bathing, for toilet, for cooking, for washing. So all, including all, how much liter is required, and how much by considering the 10 meters, so it will, because water usage, generally water, there is some energy required to transport the water from reservoir to your house. So it indirectly impact on the energy or consequently the carbon emissions. So water usage also plays important role. Electricity usage, so that this you can easily get from your electricity bill. So electricity bill from here you can put the number of units, so corresponding carbon percentage it will automatically calculate. So finally, you can calculate what is your family's total emission per month, is kg per month. So like this, you can uh, calculate this carbon emission for every month. So as per the activity, you're supposed to calculate the month-wise carbon emission of your family of this financial year, last financial year 2020. So this is a sample family carbon footprint for the financial year 2021. So since April 20 to March 21st. So most of the time it is same, but you can uh, wherever there is less, mainly there the less traveling is there. Because traveling in my family, the traveling expenses are more rather than others. So that's why the major contribution is traveling. So if I reduce the traveling, I can contribute more in emissions. That is the conclusion. So you have to make your own conclusions. So why the carbon footprint values are more in a particular month, or why it is less in a particular month. So the analysis of this is also required. So the activity-wise carbon footprint also for a particular month, you can represent graphically, and at the same time you can show it after changing your lifestyle, or uh, predicting the performance after uh, possible savings. So the blue lines, that is the original, that is before, as per the current practices, and the red line, these are the, if we revise the activities of the home, if some following some good practices, how we can minimize is that. So accordingly, this graphical representation shows how we what are the best practices you are following, and what is the impact of these best practices on the carbon emissions. So red lines, red columns, they are the actually the revised values after following the best practices. So this is activity-wise carbon footprint. This you're supposed to develop for a particular month, and just predict how much we can save. in that particular family. And based on the predictions, you can calculate these values. So this is about the elementary theory of carbon footprint. So as far as this content of this PBL report, the student is supposed to perform this activity based on this video, and they have to develop a report after performing all the activities. So the content of the reports, so the title which is already given in this video, objectives are also given. Then theory part, the few part theory part is also given. So initially you can add more theory as well, relevant theory. You use the graphs as well. Then the calculation of own carbon footprint, the worksheet is attached to this video. It is also available on Moodle. So with the help of that calculator, and by choosing the questions, you can get the corresponding values of carbon, CO2 emissions, and you can calculate your own carbon footprint. So calculation sheet along with your discussion is required. So based on the graphical representation, you have to comment on your result. Then based on the video, you can think how the possible reduction of carbon footprint by revising your habit as well as the activities. Then graphically, you have to show, or graphically you have to represent carbon footprint by comparison the activity before and after, like shown in the this particular video. Then calculation of family carbon footprint. So this you have to develop for the entire year, that is the financial year 2020 to 2021. So worksheet 2 is given as shown in the previous slide. That same calculator is provided. Only you have to put your applicable numbers there in the carbon footprint value of your family for the entire year. So as this worksheet gives only the month carbon emission values. So every month you're supposed to put the values. If you have a genuine values, do that so that you can get the ideas in which month your carbon emission is more, or how we can minimize the uh, carbon emissions. So accordingly, the comparison graph for the entire year you can show, that is month-wise April 20 to 21, so that in month-wise you can predict in which month your carbon emission is more, which month your carbon emission is low, and what should be your average carbon emission for the year. Describe some of the best practices for the same. So as far as possible, if you are following some best practices by putting some labels or like that, so attach the proof. That will be the added advantage that we are in action. That will be the good sign or good gesture. So that carry the more weightage if you put some photographs as a proof of your best practices. So these are the contents you're supposed to follow. These are the only guidelines. You can add certain things. There are many calculators are there. This is just a triggering lecture. So based on that, you can do more activities, and you can search more resources which are responsible for CO2, and you can modify the calculator as well. So this is the PBL activity. So which helps, which can change your habit and become a responsible human being. So that's it. I end this particular session. So these are some resourceful videos are also available on YouTube. Even if you Google a carbon footprint, there are a lot of videos are available. These are few of them. So I will provide the references in the Moodle as well. So with this, I end this particular session. Thank you very much.